Hey guys, okay, I'm on my way to pick up my son from work. I told you my son, who has autism, got himself into a little bit of financial trouble because he got pulled over and his registration was expired. Anyway, he found himself a job. It's only 2 days a week, 12-hour days, but I'm so happy for him so he can pull himself out of that mess. So let's just pray that he can hold on to this one. Anyway, okay. So before I left, I started making a video about the Mark of the Beast, okay? And I had gone back, way back in my channel, this one, before I took my leave of absence. I had made a video that says, don't ever get the implant. And I was gonna make a new video, but I think I'm just gonna share that one again with you. It's 28 minutes long, and you know, I don't like to make them long because I know that people have short attention spans, but me back then was just so feisty, and I just laughed while I was watching it. And so I think I'm just gonna share that one with you. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, it's cool, whatever, but I did my research, and I have a lot of information. And the reason that I went back to look for it was because back then I saw this video of the co-creator of the RFID chip, the radio frequency identification, and he made this video saying he was just devastated when he realized what he had created. And I put it in the description box, and of course I go to click on it and it says this video is private. So that was a real bummer. But I am just going to copy my own video and put it on here. I talk about some things that were relevant to the times back then for the first part of it. If you get like halfway through the video, that's when I start going over the research information about the RFID chip. But I just, you know, I think it's funny because I had a channel before this one and I erased everything, but when I came back, one of the first couple videos I made was about the Mark of the Beast, because I feel that it is so important that people have this information, because it's the determination of, you know, well, it's something that can keep you out of heaven. It says that you won't be able to buy or sell with this, so there's coming a point where you won't be able to buy groceries for your family and feed them unless you get the Mark of the Beast, and you're going to have a real decision to make. Is eating worth spending the rest of your eternity in torment? No. So I think I said it, I expressed myself a little better back then, so I'm just going to tag that onto here, and hopefully you watch it and let me know what you think. Hey guys, I hope everyone has been doing well. It is Monday, November 19th, 2018 at 3:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I wanted to get a video out to the world. It is a topic that I've covered pretty, thoroughly on my last channel. I still have little bit of regret erasing my channel, but it was just like out of hand, but it did have a lot of information that was, helping people as it was being spread. So I'm going to try to, work myself back up to that. But today I want to talk about the microchip implant that people are getting put into their bodies. This is a real thing, and it is really scary. I put my Bible fell apart, when I started getting into the Revelation book, last year. It quickly fell out of my Bible. So I put it back together, though. So I just want to read to you exactly what is happening here, because the Bible called it, and God gave us a warning. And if we are so stupid to have the warning and still get what it's warning about, then maybe we deserve what is going to happen. So let me just give you the warning so that you have it too, okay? In Revelation 13, verses 15 through 17, it says, now this is talking about a specific time in our human existence. The book of Revelation is prophecy, telling us what's going to happen in the end times. Because these times are ending, okay? If you have Jesus, it just means that there's about to be a new beginning. And you're about to get out of prison. You're about to get out of the hellhole, messed up prison that is this world, okay? So there's only good things to look forward to when you have Jesus in your heart. If you don't, it's going to get real scary up in here. But let me give you the warning, because we are in these days now, okay, in case you weren't aware. It says he was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, and that the image should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Okay, and I know that people have done studies to show how Obama is 666, Pope Francis is 666. I even think I've seen where they worked it out to Emmanuel Macron, the French president, is 666. So these are just key players to look for. But anyway, this is what happens if you do get the mark of the beast. Now this, in case you're just completely new to all of this, there are many factors right now that are contributing to a scenario that is going to cause us to soon lose power. Communication, transportation, internet, everything, suddenly. People aren't going to know what the hell to do. Some of these things that are going to cause this to happen could be the imminent war. Okay, we are already at war. Look at California. That's not natural. All the houses and cars burnt up so fast that people couldn't get out. And the trees didn't. The trees didn't burn. That's in the Bible too, by the way. But we're already at war. We're already at war. We've got Russian tanks at the Mexican border. The UN runs the show down there, and the UN is our enemy. The US is our enemy too. Anyway, so the war, and Russia and North Korea and probably China has been trying to hack into our power grid. And, I think that they've probably already been, successful with some of that. I believe they were successful in Hawaii at some point. I don't know all the information behind that. It was in my old video. But anyway, also there are extraplanetary objects in our sky right now that have magnetic force fields that mess with our own. You can go on the Blue Kool-Aid channel, Blue Kool-Aid, oh yeah, or WSO, or Jeff P, or Roger Paul, or Planet X, or Planet X Hunter. All of their channels will show you what's up there, how they're hiding it. And Blue Kool-Aid shows, and WSO show the magnetospheres, and you can see them freaking out because there's stuff there that's not supposed to be. There's stuff going on. Also, we are having these 5 waves of energy come in, and you can go to Pastor Paul Bagley's channel and check that out. It was so long I couldn't watch it, but I know that that's important. A lot of people have had prophetic dreams about these waves coming in, and I know that it probably has something to do with these energy waves. And the energy waves that are coming in from the sun can cause the power to be knocked out. It happened in 1865, I believe. And they had just finished the telegraph system there. And when these, I believe it was solar flare, I'm not sure, came in, all of the telegraph stations caught on fire at once. And the pipe that went from the United States to the UK, that burned all up. And the thing is that people weren't really dependent on electronics back then like we are now. If that happens now, I mean, everyone's cell phones blow up? I imagine so. So imagine that. I would try to get off your devices now. If not, for other reasons, try to start spending less time on them now for that one. It'll reduce the odds of the phone blowing up on your head when this happens. What else? These extraplanetary objects in the sky are also causing the volcanoes around the world to go off. And if when Yellowstone and Mount Gretna and the other one in California go off, because they're all ticking, they're ready, the magma's coming in, they're showing signs that they're about to go off. It takes a millimeter of wet ash laying on the grid to knock the power out. And you guys, if our power grid is attacked, physically attacked, we can't replace the stuff that we need. We just can't. We don't even make all of the parts for it in this country. And if we're at war, the people who we need their stuff to get our system up and running are not going to help us. They're the ones that are destroying us. Okay, so this is, you really got to get prepared. I'm not trying to scare anybody. When you have the knowledge, you are able to prepare, and that takes, the fear out of it. First and foremost, you should prepare by, giving your life to God. I'll include I can't include prayer at the end of this one, because I'm doing it on my computer, and I don't know how to do all that yet. But I'll do it on the next one. But give your life to God. Just admit that you are a sinner, and that you are so sick of the emptiness of this world. And run to Jesus. Ask Jesus to forgive you of your sins and to cleanse you and to turn you into a better person. You don't have to become perfect right away. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're running a race, and we're in it with Jesus, and when we get tired, he'll be there to pick us up if we call on him. But once you start a relationship with Jesus, even though sometimes you feel alone because he's not physically here to see, you're never alone. Never. Because we're not even physical beings. We are spiritual, eternal beings. This is temporary. Okay? So we're about to meet our eternity. All of us. And that's a lot easier to face when you have the peace of Jesus inside of you. So I'll just tell you that, and I'll get on with this. This is what happens. Oh, okay. So when the power goes out, you understand, nobody's going to be able to buy or sell anything. And that's why, it's so compelling that it says in here that, he's going to be able to force everyone to get the mark. And if they don't get it, they'll be killed. Let me tell you, you cannot get it, okay? And since you won't be able to buy or sell, you won't be able to eat if you're not prepared. And so you may have to starve to death. Let me tell you, starving to death is cake. It's a cakewalk compared to what will happen to you if you take this chip to buy or sell. They're not going to let you do anything eventually anyway. Even if you do have it, it's trapped. The microchips change your DNA when they are inside of you. These chips have been around for a long time. One of the articles that I say, I was talking about one company, Verichip, getting patents for it in 2004, I believe. I read a few articles, so it could have been a different company, but I lost it. What I was going to say. But this is what happens if you get it, okay? can't say you aren't warned. In Revelation 14, in the next chapter, starting at verse 9, it says, "Then a third angel followed them with a loud voice, saying, if anyone worships the beast and his image, and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever. And they have no rest, day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name." The next verses say, "Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and keep the faith of Jesus." Then I heard a loud voice from heaven saying to me, "Write, blessed are the dead who die from now on in the name of the Lord." Or, "Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes," says the Spirit, "that they may rest from their labors and that their works follow them." So, by continuing to read, I opened up a Pandora's box to doctrinal arguments. But here's the patience of the saints, for example, who keep the commandments of God. That allows, some people to be like, "See, there's no rapture." Yes, there is. Just not for the ones that weren't ready. Anyway, then I heard a loud voice in heaven, "Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, as the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works follow them." So, as soon as you say something about works, it's just like an automatic, the audience attacks. Works don't save. It doesn't matter how many times you say works don't save. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. As soon as you say you have to do something, forget it. Nobody even listens to you anymore. But it's saying right here that they may rest from their labors and that their works may follow them. And if we go into, I guess that's a whole other thing. But the rapture is a reward. And we're supposed to not be working to be saved. We can't be saved because we're a good person. Our soul can't be saved because we're a good person, and we can't be saved from the hell that is coming upon the earth because we're a good person, period. We get saved. Our soul gets saved, okay? Because we believe in Jesus. We believe that he came from heaven to earth in the form of a man, and that he lived a perfect, sinless life, all the way to the end. He was obedient unto death so that he could save his friends. Okay, so that if we believe that, and that he rose from the third day, because it was on that third day when he rose from the dead that it was done. Okay? That moment, he stripped all authority from the devil. In I believe it's Luke 10:19. Jesus says that I give you the authority over the scorpions and serpents and demons. We have the authority over them if we are Christians, if we have Jesus living inside of us. That's powerful. You can't be scared once you really understand that, Let me just read one of these articles real quick. First, if you have no idea what the microchip is, this one, I'll have links in the description box, okay? Check them out. Please share this stuff with people. It's really important. So this one from Fabiosa.com says, "Have you ever thought that the science fiction film gadgets would be accessible in real life? And we aren't talking about computers and mobile phones, where some people are pleased and delighted about the advent of new technologies. Others are really scared. Sweden has started chipping its residents since spring this year. Can you imagine this? People voluntarily have chips implanted between the index finger and the thumb. This microchip can replace plastic cards, various passes, and all kinds of keys that we're used to carrying on us. How convenient. That's awesome. People voluntarily have chips implanted between the index finger and the thumb. This microchip can replace plastic cards, various passes, and all kinds of keys that we're used to carrying on us. How convenient. That's awesome. Chip parties. 60 likes. That's terrifying. Oh, that's appropriate. 666. Okay. The device attracts people for the following characteristics. Minute size, similar to a grain of rice. Lack of GPS, meaning it's possible to track a person's location. Are you going in the chip yourself and seeing if it has GPS? Then how do you know it doesn't have GPS? I call bullcrap on that. Its cost is attractive, including the implantation procedure. It only costs $180. That's awesome. The chip works only at a distance of a few centimeters from the reader or terminal, so it will be extremely troublesome for some hackers to steal the information. It only stores it. Do you notice these 5G towers going up like on every street corner? Wonder if that has anything to do with it. It only stores information and can't read anything. Whatever you say, it's on the internet, so it must be true. The developers believe that this device will provide the Swedish with an entrance to a new digital era. They also note that the microchip's incredible convenience and the safety of its use. Look at how happy she is. She has no idea what she's done to herself. Okay, I want to read one more. Actually, this one is pretty incredible. It is called, as I wait for it to load. Seriously? One moment, please, because I don't even know how to pause. Here we go. Okay, it's called, Did You Know? U.S. government wants to microchip all kids sooner rather than later. Crazy! Oh, my. Okay, so this was written Friday, June 9th, 2017. The U.S. government intends to further their control over the lives of Americans by introducing microchipping for children in the near future. As time goes by, the government seems to want to regulate the lives of Americans more and more. It just takes me back to my personal story. I could just pull all my hair out right now. Sometimes these decisions for further regulation actually help the American people, but this is still up for debate depending on who you are. And sometimes the reasons behind these decisions are dubious and must be called into question. The latter scenario has been occurring recently as news of the future of tracking people has been spread around. The concept is simple, but the implications behind it are serious. The U.S. government intends to introduce microchipping for children in the near future in an effort to keep better track of them. Though it's easy to say that this technology would simply protect children from being kidnapped or getting lost, how is that? Is the implanted microchip gonna a kid is getting kidnapped and they're like, microchip activate, and like spikes are gonna come out of their skin and the person's not going to be able to pick them up. How does it keep a kid from getting kidnapped? That's bullcrap. Plus, didn't we just read in an article that you can only read it a few centimeters away? And it had no tracking? Like, come on. Get your story straight. And people like me who are trying to tell the truth are the ones called crazy? Guys, man. Though it's easy to say that this technology would simply protect children from being kidnapped or getting lost, it goes much deeper than that. Proponents of microchipping, such as mother of three, Stephanie Rodriguez Neely, have pointed out that something popped up. If it'll save my kid, there's no stuff that's too extreme. Microchipping would be an extra layer of protection if something bad does happen, she added. If a small chip the size of a grain of rice could have prevented a tragedy, I think most parents would have said, I think I would have done it. Rodriguez Neely doesn't seem to take into account what having a microchip could mean for the child once they grow up, or what else the microchip might be used for without the parent or child's permission. If parents are able to gain access to their child's location, GPS, there's a likelihood that this information could be hacked, and complete strangers could also track them. Complete strangers like the government. Oh wait, it's the government that wanted to do it in the first place. Track our kids. How kind are they? We don't even get choices with vaccines. Like they're trying to control like the kids through the school system. If you don't do exactly what they want in the school system, they like refer you to children and youth, and next thing you know, you're in danger of having your children taken away because your kids hate the public school system because it's like a jail and there's mean people. But the government controls all of it. We don't live in free anything. We just don't know it. We just don't know we're in prison. Most Americans don't even realize the magnitude of control that we are under. I can't leave my house without getting filmed, you know? The little key cards at the grocery store, they track what you buy. Like they know every damn thing about you. They watch you through the cameras on your phones and on your devices. They listen to you and your conversations with everybody that you are in contact with. It is recorded in these quantum computers. Everything we do and say. And we just don't give a crap. We just don't care anymore. Guys, we gotta start caring. These are our children. Like, you know, when they're, it's just too much. It's just too much, you guys. This is why Jesus is coming back to put an end to it. So, in the description box, I'll include links to the ones that I read. Also, why you're probably getting a microchip implant someday. I'll include the link to that. Also, one for Dr. Oz promoting the RFID chip. And one from Israeli News Live saying that the microchip is all but mandatory in the UK. I didn't have a chance to watch that, but I wanted to make sure I included it. But also, the very first one in the description box, I'm going to include a link for, it's an audio, well, it's visual also because of the person that made the channel, but it's an audio from the guy who co-created the chip, okay? And he walks you through, you know, how it happened, and then when he realized what this was, because the word 666 in Strong's Concordance, he says, I should have just looked it up. Hold on. I'm not sure. I can't find it. But just watch the video because he says it. He says it all. But it's basically to like prick, insert. It's just
crazy. So once the co-creator realized what he had a part in, he cried for days, and now it is his life's mission to speak out against it. Also, I wish I could remember Pastor Sandy Armstrong from, I think it's called Soldiers for Christ Community Church. I really apologize if that's not it. I know that he covered this a while back. Well, late last year sometime. And he follows the paper trail of people who have owned this technology and shows you that they can now change your DNA with it. You are not allowed to go to heaven if you voluntarily take this inside of you, or if you worship the beast or his image. Right now I would not be trusting the Pope. Our government is, it's just blaringly obvious we can't trust them, which is really sad. But if you don't know about this Pope and the Catholic, everything that's going on, you got to educate yourself. This guy can't be trusted. So Catholicism goes directly against the commands of God, and maybe I'll do a quick video on that in case you don't know, to keep the comment section sort of on this. Please keep the comment section about this, and don't go off on the rapture and all of that. We'll have its own video for that, I promise. As long as you're not rude, I'll leave your comments up, okay? But let's keep these organized a little bit if we can, so that we can maximize the info for people who just don't know what's going on. So I'm going to leave this here. Again, I'm sorry it got long, especially because this is repeat info for a lot of you, but it's just so important that we tell people while we can, because it's all about to go down. It's going down for real, you guys. I love you. Stay prayed up, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.
It says in Revelation 13, he was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Revelation 14 says, then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast in his image and receives the mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. Revelation 16 says, so the first angel went out and poured his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon the men who had the mark of the beast, and those who worshipped his image.